Good evening, YouTube. This is Los Angeles Prepper, and I've been wanting to make a video about Puerto Rico for a few days now. I've kind of been just busy with life a little bit. Not that I haven't had time to make a video, but Puerto Rico, as you probably know, has been was hit a few weeks ago by Hurricane Maria, and is um, still in a difficult place. Yeah, 19 hours ago, U.S. officials privately acknowledged serious food shortage. Don't have running water, power's still out. Tens of thousands of Puerto Ricans flee to the U.S. mainland. I didn't know that. Disease. Oh my God, this is like the worst part. I mean, there's a lot of bad parts about it, but from not having sewage from, like dead bodies, human and animals, and just even plants, dead everything, and rotting, not just dead, but rotting and decaying. Um, Not having, good services, not having power, limited sewage facilities, just the standing water, the mosquitoes. Um, my heart really goes out to the people in Puerto Rico. You know, there's a lot of talk about like the fact that they're not a state right now, but I mean, they've been a U.S. territory for a long time, and I know the Puerto Ricans are very proud people, and if they, if they ever decided that they didn't want to be part of the country and they wanted to do a Catalonia, that's on them. I don't know if a territory leaves, if it's called seceding, maybe it is, but point is, Puerto Rico is in a real tough place right now, and how is this important to us, the prepper community, preppers in training in my case. Although I suppose we're all preppers in training for life. 16% of Puerto Rico has power 3 weeks after the hurricane. God. 3 weeks. I'm not prepared for power without 3 weeks. I mean, okay. I would survive. I wouldn't die. I mean, I have water. Cooking wise, my cooking is gas right now. Presuming the gas was working, fiberglass. Presuming the gas was working, I could cook. If the gas wasn't working, I'm making a fire out in the carport and cooking everything over an open fire, I guess. So I need to kind of get my cooking and fuel stuff taken care of. I have a lot of canned foods, but I do have a lot of beans and other stuff and rice that, unless I had a solar oven or something, I'll have to work on that. So, 3 weeks without power. I don't, do you have solar panels? Do you have battery backups? I mean, if the power went out right now, the best I could do is I have a couple of inverters. I could run some power from my car battery, but that drains my car battery. I mean, I could charge my cell phone, several times, but if the towers were out, which they are in Puerto Rico, I mean, they're working on stuff, but I mean, Puerto Rico is not a third world country. You have to keep in mind, the biggest thing they have going against them is that they're an island. That's just killing them right now. That's the difference between Puerto Rico and Florida. Is if Florida was an island, it would be a whole different story how jacked up Florida is. The fact that they can ultimately open roads in Florida and just keep supplies moving back and forth and back and forth. Puerto Rico, you're talking about ships and helicopter, and ships are a lot slower, and helicopters and planes are really, really expensive. I don't even know if they're landing large planes like at the international airport. Presumably they are, but in fact, let me look that up right now. Well, there were two flights. There are two flights that are canceled. So, God, I'm trying to. September 21st. Well, I didn't start the video so you could watch me surf the news, but I swear sometimes it's like this is September 20. I swear to God. Like I'm trying to get results for September 21st. It was weeks ago. People waiting for airplanes at the airport. Planes just aren't coming right now. There's people on dialysis waiting at the airport to get on a plane. If you don't know what dialysis is, it's when your kidneys kind of don't do the thing they're supposed to do with insulin, and they you got to get like machine to help treat your blood. It's fucked. Dialysis is fucked. Type 1 diabetes when it's genetic and you need to be on the machine certain hours a day. It's really shitty. Really, really shitty. So I'll kind of wrap this video up, but you know, I don't do a lot of like, prepare for the future and this could happen to you and fear porn kind of videos, but Puerto Rico is real. Puerto Rico's happening right now. Right now, 16% of Puerto Rico has power. 84% of people in Puerto Rico are in the dark with, relying on whatever food they have, relying on whatever batteries they can, get. Anybody in Puerto Rico that has a solar panel right now and that has anything off grid they're not loving life, but at least they're at least to be able to keep a cell phone up because the tower's going to come up before all the power to all the houses is, maybe even a lot sooner. They might have a generator to run the cell tower just so that the emergency responders can kind of get in on that. So, think about, Puerto Rico is just another example with the hurricanes and a lot of this kind of chaos this last few months that have been going on that there's I'm not going to say there's a real threat. That's not the way I want to put it, but there's definitely a need for sensible prepping, um, and for different types of prepping. Not just your food, not just your food and water, not just energy, not just communications, not just first aid, not just security, um, but everything all together because it all ties in together. Um, Having your food and water means you don't have to go out in the nasty ass water in Puerto Rico. Having some power means that you can keep your radio on. Having some communications means you can kind of hear, even if they're not announcing stuff on the radio, if you can listen to the emergency responders and the law enforcement in the area and they're talking about this boat coming in or this airport or this is why this is closed, you can still glean a lot of information. So keep prepping, guys. My heart's out to those in Venezuela. Or not Venezuela, Venezuela too, but Puerto Rico in this case. So hope they really pull through and get that power on and get everything back together. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.